Hey, step into my office. We're gonna have some therapy.
Let's live our best life here today. We're making all our dreams come true. Why don't you come along with me? Cause I love spending time with you, with you, with you. Spending time with you.
Welcome to my therapy session. So, disclaimers, because we always need to preface things. I don't know exactly who watches my vlogs because not everyone that watches comments or messages me or talks with me privately. So I don't know who actually watches. I'm gonna flip you around actually. I think my eyes are a little more natural this way. I don't know who actually watches my videos. I'm trying to find an angle where it's like I focus on you. I don't know who actually watches, and it makes me a little bit cautious with sharing my personal details, but I do want to be transparent, and I do want to be authentic, and I do want to express myself. I have struggled. I'm a human being. I'm a regular person. I have struggles, and some of these struggles have been going on with me for all of my existence and me growing up. And while I've started this channel, while I've started vlogging, some of the challenges have been repeating in cycles. And then here I am today, still talking about these damn struggles. And for me, I'm gonna get comfy. I feel like a broken record because this is the main topic of the conversations that I'm having in my life, in my journals, and with my therapist. And I want a little more community. I think that would help me process things a little better and get through things a little better and feel connected to reality. One of my biggest struggles is that I have a very distorted sense of reality that has been worsened by isolation. So I had a pretty isolated childhood, not super extreme, but more isolated than average. Then when I moved to this country, my first 2 years of being here was pretty isolated. I wasn't really meshing with society and with my peers, and then I started working. And once I started working, I was meeting strangers every single day. Some of those strangers were my coworkers or people in my industry, and then my clients, and straight up strangers. I meet strangers every single day. It's part of my job. My job is to meet strangers and convert them into clients. That is my job. I'm in sales. I don't think I was prepared for that, but even whatever, that's my job. That's what I choose. This is my career. I'm here. We're doing the thing. Real life is starting to set in, where there are days where I wake up and I feel so disconnected. I feel like I'm not a part of anything. And I've always pretty much felt this way, and I've almost always longed for it. I was always like, one day when I get older, when I become an adult, when I start working, when I move, I'm gonna have this, I'm gonna have this, I'm gonna have this, I'm gonna have this. And then here I am not having it and being very confused about why. Where is my community? Where is my friend group? Where is my partner? Where is my sense of family? And I have a family. I have a nuclear family. I have extended family. I am just so different from my family that we operate on different wavelengths. And I love them, and we're great. We have a great relationship. We just have very, very different interests and ways of life, and the things that are interesting to me are not interesting to my parents and my family, and the things that are interesting to them are so boring and restrictive to me. So it's really hard to build that vibe with them because we're on two different wavelengths. And then there's friendship, and I have really, really great friends that live thousands and thousands of miles away, back home in my home country of Trinidad. And I talk with them pretty much a lot. I talk with my family that lives back home on video call, on DMs, on text messages, on FaceTime, all that stuff. I miss them dearly. Not enough to move back, but I miss them dearly, and I miss having that level of comfort with other human beings that know who you are and know the way you think, and they get you, and you feel home with them even if you're far away from each other. I've made friends in Philly. I've made amazing friendships in Philly. They're still all relatively new, or relatively, I don't know what the right word to describe them as, but it's not deep bonds. Or maybe that's not fair to say. Our lives are not as enmeshed as my preference. And I was talking with my therapist about my value of enmeshment. I love merging lives. I love community. I love village. I love your space is my space. My space is your space. I could come to your house unannounced. I could be on your bed. I can spend time with you. I'm getting there with some of my friends, but that's not the culture norm in the city. Or at least I haven't found my matches that I feel completely safe and completely comfortable with doing that. And it's not that the people are making me comfortable, but I'm scared of making them uncomfortable. So I've been getting there with some of my friends, and it's been nice, and it's been healing, so freaking healing. But I just think that I want more of that, and maybe that is probably me longing for a relationship, to be really honest, to have that enmeshment. But I love enmeshment. I love having a routine with other people. Like, okay, I see you on these days of the week, we have these activities together, we break bread, we share meals, we share stories, we share experiences. I love close-knit bonds, and I'm lacking that a little bit, or I'm scared to trust the ones that I have built because of the hurt that I've experienced since moving here and bonding with the wrong people. It's not making me not want to do it, it's just making me a little more careful with how I do it, and also with not being too pushy when it comes to other people. And I hope that resonates and you understand where I'm coming from, and maybe you're also experiencing something like that. But there are a few themes in my life where the same conversations are happening. So that's one, where like the community and the bonds and all that. The other one is like entrepreneurship and self-sufficiency and finances and all of that. Yesterday at journal group, we were talking about our relationship with finances, and we all had our own struggles and our own money stories here and there, and a lot of similarities, to be quite honest. Even though our experiences were very different, the beliefs and the relationships were very similar, like from childhood. And I found that to be super duper interesting. I'm still figuring out what my relationship with money is because of my childhood. I have been it's a weird balance of being super independent and super independent thinking, yet being very dependent financially or safety wise. So I grew up very sheltered, according to my standards. I grew up very sheltered, and my parents took really, really, really good care of me, and they kept me safe, and they kept me provided for. And then one day I woke up and I had to go to work. And not only did I not have a transition into a normal 9-to-5 job, I chose entrepreneurship. And within entrepreneurship, I chose real estate as my career, as my means of feeding myself. I chose real estate. One of the hardest shit to do. Okay? So there's innate instability with entrepreneurship, and there's even more instability with real estate as your path and sales as your path, right? So I'm getting into this career not fully understanding anything about sales, because your girl never worked before. Every time someone asks me, oh, like, hey, what did you do before real estate, or what did you do before this, and the answer is I was in high school. I graduated high school. I was studying my SATs and taking my SATs, and then I was tutoring kids. That is my work experience. That is my career experience. And then after tutoring kids, I worked with my dad for a little bit at his HVAC company. Doesn't count. Working for your daddy doesn't count. He pays the bills anyways. And then I joined real estate. And then I'm walking through $1 million houses, talking with millionaires. I am living all these lavish experiences and meeting all these people and opening up my horizon, meeting my childhood heroes in this city. This city is so beautiful and so magical, and real estate has opened up my world so high and so hard and so big, and I'm so grateful. I cannot complain about that. It's the price I have to pay. And also within the meeting we were talking about, I was like, when is the age that we figure this out? When is the age that I have stability? When is the age that I'm starting to match my peers? And there are people that I know personally my age, or I've seen them online and I've been following them online, and you can't believe everything online, but facts are facts, you know. They're my age, they're literally my same age, and they have the lifestyle and the stability and the foundation that I want for myself. And I'm looking at it like, okay, I'm doing all of the work and I'm doing all the right things and I'm putting in all the energy, and I'm not seeing the same results. Where is the disconnect? What am I doing wrong? So it has to be limiting beliefs and my energy blocking it some way. And then two, it's just everyone has a different path. And on top of that, someone said yesterday in the group to me after I shared this frustration, and it really helped me with my perspective. Everyone is going through something. So even if financially or stability wise or career wise, someone your age, someone in your peers, the people you know, the people you're looking at, they seem to have what you want, and not even like, oh, it's not what it seems. Maybe they do genuinely have what they want, but there are other aspects of life. No one has everything at all times. And she was basically saying, like, you might not have the resolve that you want in this area, but what about mental stability, emotional stability, community, support, purpose, all of those other things that someone who might have a stable job, might have a stable lifestyle, might have a stable income, might have their own home and their own everything, and have these other areas of their life unfulfilled. And you don't know what someone's going through. Even if someone has the things that you want, doesn't mean that they have everything. And that really helps put things into perspective for me. Or something as simple as my confidence and about believing in myself and knowing who I am. And I know I have a lot of things figured out. I'm a perfectionist. I want to have everything figured out all the time. But I have so much of life figured out. I have so much experience. I have so much knowledge. I have so much wisdom. I have so much of the right attitude and the right mindset, and I didn't have to learn certain things the hard way, and I have so much going for me, and I have so much potential, and I have so much to be grateful for, that I can't get stuck up on the one area of my life that I'm having difficulty with. And for me, the two big sores in my life, or my two big challenges, or my two big courses, if we're looking at Earth School, is just stability and self-sufficiency and really cementing my adulthood and my womanhood. And then the second thing would be being disciplined with my fitness. And they kind of go hand in hand for me. I have conflated the two so much, where it's really hard for me to focus on one and neglect the other, and vice versa. When all of the stability and the self-sufficiency and the regulated nervous system, when that's all figured out, it'll be so much easier, in my understanding and my belief, for me to have everything devoted to my physical health and well-being and being a sexy bitch. Like, I want to get there, but this other area of my life needs a lot more of my time and energy and focus, and it stops me from working on the other thing. It's so weird, but I have conflated the two. But those are my problems. And a wise lady once told me, if money can solve all your problems, then you've got great problems. And then those are the best kind of problems to have. And I have to remind myself to be so grateful about how my problems can easily be fixed. And they're not even problems, they're just obstacles that are building me into the woman that I am meant to be. It's preparing me for chapters to come. I'm 25 years old. And then when I talk to my friends that are 10, 15 years older than me, they look at me and they're like, re-fucking-lax. When I was 25, I wasn't doing half of the shit. I didn't have the goals you had. I did not accomplish the things you had. You're doing great. You're doing freaking great. And because I will have these huge dreams, and I want to live that life, and I want to live it now, it's really hard for me to just sit in the stage that I am in now. Just sit in the unknown and the discomfort. I hate being uncomfortable. I'm a Taurus, for crying out loud. So that's my rant. Like, I need to chillax. It's really hard for me to chillax. I'm always thinking about the future. I'm always thinking about building something for myself, and I get super frustrated when life doesn't cooperate. And then I probably make it even harder for the universe to line things up, because I'm being so resistant towards it. And another thing I was thinking about when I was driving here is I am so intelligent, and I need to own that a little bit more. I am super freaking smart. I have so much wisdom, and I have a really sharp, brilliant, beautiful brain and beautiful mind. I want to talk about this without being insensitive and without sounding arrogant. I have always been above average intelligent. Okay? Let me flex. Let me talk my shit. Let me pop my shit. I have always been super intelligent, especially academically, especially scientifically. Mathematics isn't my favorite, but my brain understands it. Like, I'm super freaking smart. And with that smartness, I'm super adaptable, and I'm emotionally intelligent. Like I would have been a great therapist if I could control my emotions. I'm too much of an empath for me to be an efficient therapist, but I'm super smart. Not just in academics, not just in remembering things, but in figuring out really complex, dynamic things. I'm so smart. And so when I'm communicating with people, I can see the gap of intelligence, of all different types of intelligence, especially emotional intelligence, or if it's topic related, I can see the gap. Like, okay, this is in their strong area. And it's really frustrating how self-aware I am, especially when I go to therapy. I'm so self-aware that I go to the therapist and I'm like, okay, these are all my problems. These are all the solutions. These are the things that are stopping me from getting there. And I am really frustrated with my inability to overcome these obstacles that I know how to solve. It's so frustrating when you're self-aware and you just cannot get yourself to do what you need to do, and you know exactly what you want to do. And then when other people are involved and relationships are involved, and you're like, I know the answer to this problem. If you would just do X, Y, and Z, and I do X, Y, and Z, we could solve these problems together. But you can't control what other people do. And you just have to walk away from business partners, from clients, from relationships, from friendships, if you genuinely cannot see eye to eye, because it just causes so much stress. There are some interactions I've been having and I want to help, but you just have to meet people where they are, and sometimes people aren't ready to be somewhere else, and you just have to leave them where they are. I love solving things. I'm learning that more and more about myself. I'm a solution oriented person, and I cannot rest until something is done. And everything has to be done within perfection. And so if it's not going to be done with perfection, I'm not going to do it at all. And I hate giving up control. It's a whole thing. I know what my problems are. You know, I'm the problem. I know why. I know how to fix it. And I've been having such a difficult time, and I want everything to be solved basically overnight. And that's not how it works. That's not how life works. And you gotta follow the program. You can't be bigger than the program. Yeah. My brain hurts. I feel like friggin' Sheldon Cooper sometimes, because I have all of the questions and I answer them, and I just need community because I end up talking to myself. So guys, talk to me. Like, let's have a conversation so I don't keep talking to myself. Okay? Thank you for watching. Okay, bye.